Greetings, fellow worshippers in the Pantheon. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Nova Roma. Episode 6, The Cascading Fallout from Envious Gods. At this point, I don't think I'm going to be selling bread anymore. So I'm going to move the bread over to wine instead. We still have an excess of wine, but I don't really have that much of an excess of bread. We have like 300 spare wine and only 40 bread, so I'm going to change that a bit. The other thing I want to do over here is to build forums. So we have Vulcan, but I'm also going to do 6 forums, 3 on each side, of the nicer types for Vulcan. And there is a reason for that, and I'll explain it once that's built. Uh-oh, I am being mega attacked. How did I not notice? The music didn't change, and I was like completely caught off guard. They're like done torching me. Forget even a militia. Don't even bother. We've already been attacked. I failed to notice. Because the music was like sweet. Oh no, they're coming in? Was this a 2-wave attack? Okay, no. Give me my militia. I want to kill some people if I can. Yo, make landfall. Yo, make landfall. Hey, hey! Okay, are you... You're all... Okay, I think they're done. Alright, disband. Sorry! I know, it was traumatic. I, didn't notice. How many people are like, yo, we're dying here! And I'm like, Vulcan? I just pay attention to the gods. Nice! Temple's almost done. Just a few more marble, and it will be complete. This should be set for marble. It wasn't. Fixing that. And if you're wondering, yes, all the gods are going to want large temples pretty soon. So it's like, do it for one, you're doing it for all of them. That and Mars is going to be like, yo, where's mine? Very soon too. So, here's a large temple. And we're going to dedicate it to Vulcan. Finally, don't make me wait so long next time. So here's his expectation, and here's his current honor. Honestly, God's honor is a little weird. We're like trying to raise it is nigh impossible. But here's the other thing. We can throw festivals with adjacent forum tiles. So I built 6 tiles because that is the maximum bonus for the festivals. And I'm not going to hold it right now because like the forum's not even built yet. Oh, here we go. The Cascade. Mr. Jealous. So now Jupiter's like, yo, where's mine? Fine. I don't even have the materials. You wait, Jupe. I think I just created a new slur for Jupiter worshippers. My bad. The other thing is the amount of gold that we can hold increases up to 1,300 because, you know, we have a larger temple. Yeah, I'm gonna tax these people. You thought living way out here you'd escape taxes. False. With all of these increases, I'm also going to want like more housing, because it's going to be hard to keep up with the added industry demands that the gods are like imposing on us. So I'm going to build another large insula, and I'm going to put it here. So right now they're trying to finish this forum, which is totally fine, and then we'll work on an insula. Because I definitely have the food for it. I might be making a bit too much of my grapes into wine, where I could like probably slow down on that a bit. Actually, let's do that this way. Where is it? Why am I blind? Winemakers. Let's do 9 out of 14. Alright, so this large temple. The way this works is you sacrifice like coin and, let's say, wine to hold a festival, which rewards honor and a happiness bonus that applies to the entire island. So citizens make merry at festivals to the gods, and the forum fills with like revelers temporarily. And then if you take a look at the houses here, they're going to be happy that there's like a festival going on. Oh, and truly joyous citizens. We just hit 100. You're welcome. So Vulcan should be happy for now. And now we're trying to appease Jupiter. And I need about 50 stone for that. So one thing you might have noticed is the small temple here benefits the output of the nearest 5 fire-based industries, but this doesn't have a sphere of influence. It's different. Here, you can actually kind of like check in with Vulcan to see his like honor level and hold festivals. So they serve different purposes, which is why you might want both. But keep in mind, of course, it's going to dramatically drive up your temple workers, because these small ones are 1. These big ones are 10. I think you might be able to like fiddle with it and be like, yo, I want only 5 temple workers, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I'm not going to like short the gods because I don't want to die. All right. Sell on my line. Boom. And now we have a lot more coin. Oh, let's buy stone. Buy all your stone, thank you. That's going to help with the temple to Jupiter. Where do I want a temple to Jupiter? I'm going to put a temple to Jupiter here, because it's like not a high value land. And I'm going to give Jupiter, because he was jealous, a lower quality for him, because screw that guy. What is he going to do? Smite me with lightning? Yeah, that's exactly what he would do. There we go, Jupiter's temple. So now the current priority is build a large temple to Jupe. Maybe after we get this insula built, because it's all the materials have been delivered and we might as well finish it up. Still doing the land clear. There it is. All right, we're going to have a lot of immigration coming. This year, for sure. And you guys are now paying taxes? Yes, you are. Cool. I guess. mean, you're probably not cool with it, but I sure am. There's already 22 people living in the new house. That was quick. They haven't gotten supplied yet. And Jupiter's still waiting on his grand temple. But it is about half supplied. Oh, you know what? That river did... No, it didn't. Oops. Misclick. Actually, let's do this. Can I know I need stone for other things, but what I really want to do is I want to get a different road east-west. I have a lot of coins, so let's do it this way. This is going to be a little weird. Raise this embankment a little bit so that the bridge is less steep. Whoop, zip, too much. Wrong one. All right, that should make it a little bit easier to build a bridge over the two. So I'd like for a road run like that. There's not going to be a lot of traffic on it, but might as well have it. I think it would look nice. All right, Mr. Jupes. This one is yours. Nope. I did not click you, series. Jupe. There we go. This temple calms my anger. Do not displease me again. Festival. There you go. And we have even more tech points. And there we go. A bunch of other favors that we have fulfilled. And I'm sure the other gods are going to be like, yo, where's mine? And that will come in just a second. So how many people do we have left over after all those like new temple workers? So we have 24 temple workers. We have 10 unemployed. That's actually pretty good. The terrain engineers are going to be unemployed once their terrain job is done, though. But then they can work as builders, that's fine. So Vulcan wants an offering of tools. It's very hard to get those tools out because like people consume the tools so quickly. So we're going to need more toolsmiths. And I suppose I could put that in as well. Alright, that's done. And a bridge is way easier to achieve. Oh, I didn't see this coming. Sirius is like, where is mine? Yes, I know. So now we have a far more predictable flow rate for the river. I can afford, like, roads that cross. Although that road looks very hard to traverse. Little jank, but oh, whatever. If I really fussed with it, I could adjust the elevation rate and fix it. I just don't care that much. I have no... Alright, buy 50 stone? Actually, buy all the stone. It's at 1 apiece. Our dock workers are lazy and haven't actually moved any wine to where they should be. Which screams production flow problem to me. Or cart problem. Whatever. Alright, Ceres wants a temple. So, time to update the priority. We want a Ceres large temple. Seems reasonable to put it right here. That way the two can bicker and leave me out of it. Little temple complex. Because they have a inferiority complex. That's why they all want temples. Looking good. So that northern east-west road is done. The toolsmiths are staffed. We've got 27 builders left over, which is a hell of a lot. You say I can't build on water. Well, guess what? I can. I'm just gonna make it not water. Fight me. Gaia, I'm gonna win this fight. That'd be a fun next god, is just the Gaia god. Hey, you don't make me happy. You can eat flood. Alright, here it is. This is for my goddess of agriculture. Please think of me sooner. Doubt. But alright, there you go. And we're throwing a little festival too, because why not? We got the coin. Well, barely. I sort of had the coin. I had the concept of the coin. We have like no coins left over. Alright, I'll probably be hearing from Neptune any second now. Oh, look at that! I know the future. I'm an oracle. You're welcome. You neglect my worship. Okay. Well, Mr. Makes the Sea Angry is seeing green, not blue. We need more coin for that. So we're gonna save up, but pretty soon we'll have the large Neptune as well. So... And yes, I have completely neglected Mars, and I'm sure I'll hear from him any minute now. So for the Neptune one, I'll probably put it around here, so let's just start clearing the trees in this area. So, you know, I'm actually kind of tempted to just, like, plop it. There's a reason not to put all my farms in one spot, though. And the reason... Oh, that's not good. The reason is... These guys, if they want things like wine, access to wine, what we can do is we can put like a wine... Well, one thing I could do is put a wine shop here. But another thing I could do is, in the forums, I could put a market for wine. Because you can put shops or markets, right? They're two different ways to supply. So I could put a wine market in the forum. So having your large temples positioned around various... zones allows you to, because the in-apartment markets are pretty limited, right? Like, so far, the in-apartment markets that we have access to, the shops, is food and wine, whereas the markets themselves, we could do things like pottery. So I'll put a pottery one in here, because pottery is, or fish. Pottery and fish is harder to bring out to the industries over here because they're just very far from fish, for instance. So putting a fish market in this temple will allow the people that live out here to actually have access to fish. Otherwise, they really wouldn't. Whereas, like, a pottery market here, I'm going to actually get rid of. It's rather, and the wine market here, and the bread market here, rather pointless, if you ask me. I put it as a demonstration purposes, but we already produced the bread right here, and we have a warehouse full of it. So it's not like it's hard to get that stuff. So you can use the forums as a supply chain as well. Are you saying I really need more charcoal? I kind of doubt that. I think what I'll do is I'm going to put a warehouse of charcoal over here. And I'll put it like right next to my bakery, which primarily uses it, but it will also make charcoal available for everyone else. So I've got the coin. Well, no, I don't yet have the coin for the Neptune forum. The original forums that I had, I'm going to get rid of. Because these mini forums attached to the mini temples don't really do anything unless you have supply markets. Oh, well, now I'll make my coin. I probably... There we go. And I'll just put Neptune's temple here. That's gonna look super silly due to like the weird elevation level. But whatever. Alright. Charcoal only. There's even like a step access way here because of how strange it is. Mars has no temple, but he can complain even without one. He will have his own pop-up, and you can suffer the consequences of not appeasing him, even templeless. Just because you don't think they have your cell phone, alas, they still do, and they will still contact you. I'm almost done. Are you trying to call me? Very well. Festival. Alright, so at the moment, Jupiter wants us to grow, Vulcan wants tools, and Mars has yet to contact us, but I'm sure we'll hear from him soon, lest we'll get, like, massively raided. We're getting to the point where I think it is actually somewhat reasonable to... So there's two things I want to do. I'm going to get an Undertaker and a Columbarium for the dead, so that we don't have moments of, we don't have, like, poor health due to mishandling of the dead. Now, the Columbarium is not how the rich want to get buried. It's how the poor get buried. So this thing is good for the poors, if you will, but whatever. I'll put it, we'll entomb them up here, like, on the near a water supply, because that's totally not going to bite us in the butt. But it's an ugly building, so I'm having it away from the homes, but, like, kind of central to all the homes-ish. So here we go. The current priority now is manage the dead. Provided that Mars doesn't, like, start chirping. We might hear from him any minute. Oh, torrential rains. So this is the first mega rain that we're going to get. And this might require me to adjust some of the spillway. So this is more than just a normal rainy season. This is like extra rain. But it seems like the spill that we have is handling it no problem. I don't even think we're going to lose any farm fields. So it did re-flood this section of the farm, which is a bit too low. But I don't see any serious damage. And if we didn't want that, we could lower the level even farther for the other spillway. Oh, well, it's just subsided anyway. But we could have lowered it even more to divert even more water to the lower sections. I really don't have any. I have 2 builders. Well, I don't really need marble right now, so let's turn that off. Alright. A lot of that is, after the 4 major temples that I just built, we have 44 people employed in temples, which is a very significant portion. Which is why it's hard to staff things. Also, that looks awful. That will look a little bit more natural. I mean, it still looks jank because of the elevation levels, but whatever. Carts might be nice. I don't yet need carts. Like, it seems like a lot of resources get to where they are needed within a reasonable... Oh, I think Mars is... I think I just heard the, like, god pop up from Mars. Maybe? Maybe not? Oh, no. No, it was the columbarium getting built. Alright, undertakers. We'll put them up. Cemetery workers up pretty high. And now we're managing the dead. And people are going to be happier about that. For the most part. So we've got some undertakers. Alright, next project... is improve security, which I'm not really going to be able to do a lot of. Because I'm just about out of time for the stream. But I think most affordably, when you're trying to defend your towns, you're going to want a stone wall and then guard towers. You can temporarily hire people as archers to man the towers to guard the walls. I'm also going to unlock the transport cart. You had mentioned it, but I'm not going to set it up just yet. So in the military tab, the reason why I have everything close to shore but not directly on shore is so that I can run walls. Because the best way to defend, in my opinion, is just to have a giant perimeter wall around everything. So that when people come to attack you, they have to go through a wall, and then you have towers to cover everywhere. And I'm not going to worry about gates. Like, I could put a gate here, but it doesn't really matter, because some of the things are required to be on the shore. This, of course, is Neptune's. Let's give that to him. And boost it. So, like, the docks and the shipyards and the fishing huts are required to be on the shore, so you can't necessarily get away from... you can't do a full circumference wall around everywhere, but I don't, as you may have noticed, I don't have everywhere else touching the shore so that I can have the most enclosed percentage of the shoreline possible. So I'm just going to start creating the initial walls, knowing that, like, it's probably not to be fully completed, but the idea is that eventually we would have a full wall around our entire island, making it more like a military fort. Except for a few points here, where when we are attacked, we could muster forces there or have towers guarding there. And then the other part of this is, of course, the military towers. So there isn't a stone guard towers, but there is these wooden ones. And what we could do is we could strategically place these wooden ones in what is likely high traffic areas, as well as around the interior of our cities, and then man it when we are being attacked. So we'll put one guarding the temples there. We'll put one guarding our metal industries and other temples, and then sort of a city center. But keeping these archery jobs as low as possible and off so that they're not typically staffed, and only staffed in the case of an incursion. I'm breaking even on the upkeep, mostly because I'm using it a lot in construction. And then as far as for trade, once my dock workers actually move wine, I might need a supply cart. So I'll set up the supply cart, the transport cart, just so you can see it. It doesn't really matter where you place it. So arbitrarily, I'm just going to put it up here and have it as a high priority. Transport carts allows you to move things logistically. So in the logistics here, what I can do... Oh, some of this wine is my issue. So for this dock, I'm going to say have 200 wine and nothing else for logistics. I'm going to add a supplier here, which is the wine granary. And now I have a logistics network. Actually, how much? I have, space for 100 wine? So let's set that to 100. And now I can assign a supply cart to run the logistics for that. And that's what the trade carts do. So now I have a trade cart, and I just click on this supply line. And now this cart will just continually transport wine to my dock. Also, let's do this. This warehouse here has a desired amount of 100 charcoal. The supplier is going to be this warehouse of charcoal. And I could build another... I can supply this cart both transportations. So when one's done, the next is done. Because we have charcoal here to supply the bakery and also the homes. So that's a secondary transport. Which is, I think, going to get done now. Yep, so here's the cart going over and getting the charcoal. The enemy units aren't going to be able to, fully climb up the mountainsides, so you don't necessarily have to wall up everything, just as long as they physically can't, attack you. And waterways are always going to be open, unless you spillway them, but spillways can be attacked. So you can treat dams and spillways as also like pseudo-walls. So if you wanted to have a full perimeter... You could do something like this. Oops. Where at least this is a physical object blocking them. Yeah, let's build that. This is a physical object blocking attackers. They have to, break that down to get through. Otherwise, they can just wade up the river. And this is sort of more of an endgame thing. A full wall around everything. Because the military that attacks you just keeps ramping up and up and up and up and up. And the reason why I say archers is it's very hard when you're getting attacked from 7 points or 10 points different directions. You only will have a few armies. Even when you end up getting the full-on standing military with weaponsmith, infantry, and cavalry, and then even putting them in a shipyard on boats, you're almost always going to be outnumbered. And because you're almost always outnumbered, it makes a lot more sense to have choke points with guard towers, and enough guard towers where you turn on the guard towers that you think are going to get hit, and you have walls to slow them down and armies at the open areas. So for this defense, like, the enemies are typically going to hit like maybe here or here. They're going to make sort of the same beachheads over and over and over, and that's where you put all your guard towers. And then you employ a bunch of archers to whittle down their forces while they try to break your walls, and you just repair the walls at the end as a sort of tower defense. Because it's very difficult to have enough meaningful forces to repel them with actual armies. That's not likely to happen. So now, with our nice supply chain, we can sell 100 wine. And given that, I'm going to raise my winemakers back up to 14 because we will actively be selling wine as export. And the things you export have kind of a randomized cost. So sometimes they're going to come and buy wine for 2, sometimes 4. You don't necessarily always want to be selling wine no matter what, unless you have like so much excess wine it doesn't really matter. Clay and pottery furloughed for now to work as builders because I don't really need I have so much excess stuff at the moment of that. Same with actually all of the mining industry. We have so much iron right now. So we have way more builders to help out. Because I don't even think I have my first guard tower up. Nope, I don't. So let's get our first guard tower just so that I can change the job priorities to close it. Because it doesn't even pop up as a potential job until I have at least one. Oh, yeah, you're right, I never put that grape plot in. Did all the terraforming for it and just never dropped it. Alright, so with the first guard tower, I'm just going to say no archers. And the idea is not to keep them employed all the time because you owe them gold in wages. But when you get attacked, you put archers in the towers that you think are going to get hit. And, you know, they'll provide a pretty... They don't require any training or anything like that. They'll provide a pretty reasonable amount of defense for you. And the infantry barracks and the cavalry barracks is a way to have a standing army. You know, once... Or alternatively, that you can recruit. Now, it takes a little bit longer to recruit. So to explain, because I'm not going to get to it, I'm basically out of time. But just to explain how the military works, if you were wondering... When you have the infantry barracks, it works very much the same way as the outpost does, where you recruit and muster troops. You can have them be permanent troops if you want. The same is true of the militia. The real benefit is, of course, it's a second army besides the militia, and they're stronger and can get veterancy. They take a little bit longer to muster than the militia itself, so you need... If you hit it the moment the enemy arrives and you have all the supplies, meaning like all the weapons and whatever you need to actually muster the forces, they'll be able to muster in time. But that's basically how the military works. And I think this is where I'm going to leave off, having built a 340-person, somewhat idyllic island town fit with proper aqueducts and temples, and I guess we neglected the hell out of Mars, but we're starting to do a border wall. And this is where I'm going to leave off. Thank you for tuning in to Nova Roma, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, fellow Roman citizens.